And
Thanks.
look who's back with us now, former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee. So it's good to see you, sir. I mean, it's we haven't seen you in a while. I'm glad you're back on the show. You know, Governor, we've got House Oversight Chair James Comer telling Maria Bartiromo he will subpoena both Joe Biden and Hunter Biden. We debated this, and we've been saying this on our show for the last week or so. You know, congressional investigators say, yeah, they can do that, but the Biden family machine has stonewalled and blocked the FBI, the DOJ, the Secret Service, the IRS, and the Biden family attorneys. Don't you think they're going to blockade on subpoenas?
If you remember the movie Naked Gun and Leslie Nielsen, there's a scene where he's standing in front of all these explosions going on behind him, and there's shooting and everything, and just chaos. And he says to the crowd, there's nothing to see here. Let's move along. There's nothing to see. That is the White House right now with all this stuff exploding behind them, and they pretend that there's nothing there. Well, there's a lot there. There are bank records. There are whistleblowers. There are sworn affidavits, and there are people who are coming forward under oath telling us what has been happening. And James Comer's pile of bank records, pretty compelling.
Jonathan Turley points this out, too. Emails discussing Hunter and his father's use of joint bank accounts to pay for expenses. One account was used to pay Joe's taxes. There's also Hunter's complaint he was spending half of his earnings to pay for his father. And this story resurfacing. The Obama White House has been inoculated against all this, right? People haven't really been talking about this. But let's show again the emails out of Senate Homeland Security. Then Vice President Biden's top aide, Kate Bedingfield, was emailing talking points to Obama's State Department about how to talk about Hunter Biden's business partner. The Ukrainian oligarch Hiram Burisma hired him to sit on the board, paid him nearly $1 million a year. That guy faced corruption probes. So Hunter Biden is not a lone wolf, Governor Huckabee. The Biden team, the Obama White House were doing triage on this, spending taxpayer resources to help Hunter Biden's business partner.
It's so hard for anyone to even digest that the press is ignoring this. How can they? There are documents after documents after documents that show an extraordinary sense of knowledge of all these business deals. And Joe Biden continues, even yesterday, telling Fox News' Peter Doocy, no, I've never really dealt with that. That's a lousy question. No, it's a great question. He's just a lousy answer. Here's the fact. There's one of Hunter's business partners who went to the White House and to the vice president's home more than my uncle went to the buffet at Golden Corral. I'm telling you, this is just an extraordinary chain of events in which there's no way Joe Biden was unaware of his son's business dealings, and he attended dinners at the Cafe Milano, one of the nice Tony restaurants in Georgetown, with some of those business partners and foreign actors.
Yeah.
So I know his memory's bad. I know he doesn't even know what day it is, but by golly, I think he knows that he is aware of his son's business.
Personally, I would take the Golden Corral over Cafe Milano any day. But you know what? Governor, you know who was onto this? Let's watch Trump in the 2020 debate. Watch this.
Why is it, just out of curiosity, the mayor of Moscow's wife gave your son $3.5 million? What did he do to deserve it?
None of that is true.
Yeah, there are shell companies that reported that influx of money. So, and Senate reports showing that. So, you know what the other story is that's coming in, Governor? I want your final word on this. Daily Caller is reporting that then Vice President Biden's office, just sit tight. Sorry, I'm going to get to this. Vice President Biden's office got Burisma to take down photos of then Vice President Biden and Devon Archer from the Burisma website. And we've got watchdogs pointing out Joe Biden had dinners at, as you point out, with D.C. restaurants with oligarchs from around the world who were sending cash to his family, including Russian billionaire Yelena Baturina.
Yeah, I think it's like the ServPro commercial when you have this terrible disaster, a flood or a fire in your home, and they say, we'll fix it just like it never happened. I think the Biden team is called ServPro, and their whole attitude is just like it never happened. But it did happen, Liz, and someday they're going to have to be held accountable. And thank goodness Donald Trump was aware of this when everybody thought he was just blowing smoke. Turns out he was breathing fire.
Got it. Governor Huckabee, You brought fire to that segment. Thank you so much. We'll have you back on